Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video we have an eyeshadow palette review and 2 looks, and it is on this eyeshadow palette from Too Faced. This just launched today. I snagged mine in Ulta stores today. I actually wasn't planning to put this video up. I had something else planned, which was my purchaser pass, but I guess purchaser pass is gonna wait till tomorrow because I really want to talk to you guys and show you the new Too Faced Cinnamon Swirl Palette. I feel like there's been some buzz about it. A lot of you guys have requested this one. I pretty much review all the Too Faced, like, this isn't really holiday, it's like their pre-holiday palettes in the tin packaging. I buy all of them. I've done reviews on every single one pretty much, so of course I had to go ahead and try this one out as well. So this one is available on the Too Faced site as well as Ulta, and some Ultas have it in stores already, although when I was at Ulta the display only had 3, so I was like, oh, that's not very much. I'm assuming they're going to be getting some more, but you can always order online too. I usually get very excited about these launches, and I have to say this one is probably the one I have been the least excited about ever. Seeing the promo pictures, I was like, this looks very similar to what they have already done, and usually their fall palettes like the gingerbread extra spicy, and the pumpkin spice one that they did last year, they all are a little bit similar, but they usually have some differences that justifies it enough for me to purchase. So I feel like they're usually different enough, but this one just seemed so similar to the other ones that we've had that I really did not get hyped about it. So let me know if you guys felt the same, but since I am a Too Faced reviewer, I wanted to still go ahead and show you guys what it's like and compare it to some of the other palettes I have in my collection as well from them. So this is the packaging on the Cinnamon Swirl. It is really cute, I will say. And then here is the actual palette. Very cute design. It is probably one of my favorite packagings that they have done. I love the cinnamon roll theme. It does say it smells like cinnamon rolls. In my opinion, I don't think it smells like cinnamon rolls. I think it just smells like cinnamon. I'm not like a huge fan of the smell of it. I think it could have been a little bit better, but you know how Too Faced is. They always want to do like their scented things. This is described as 18 cinnamon roll scented sweet and spicy shades, so seductively rich, warm, and toasty. They're positively sinful because that's just how you roll. And here is the inside with the cute little cinnamon roll on the mirror and the colors. So basically what I'm gathering from this is we get very basic warm neutrals and some purpley pinks on the bottom. As a makeup junkie who has a lot and buys pretty much every palette from Too Faced, it was just kind of a letdown in the color scheme. Now I know that people are gonna buy this, like there's for sure a market for this. People do get excited about these palettes and they buy them kind of like collector's items every holiday, and maybe some people who don't have a lot of makeup in their collection would see this and really fall in love with it with these basic neutral tones for sure. I think Too Faced was definitely trying to play it safe with this launch, just kind of sticking to what they know and what they're used to, but I would have liked to see them spice it up a little bit. So maybe for the other holiday releases, we'll see what happens. But this palette is going for $49. Let's do some swatches. I'll do them here on camera with you. You guys seem to really like that when I did that before. So the first shade is just a matte cream called Flower Power, and that is just your basic matte cream shade. The next one in the palette is another matte. This one's called Doughboy, and this one has a little bit of peachiness added in. Next is a shimmer. This one is Frost Those Buns. They always have really cute names. This shade is very smooth and very pretty. Next up we have a matte brown called See Me Rollin'. That one is a good matte. It swatches really well. We have a kind of gold in the palette. This one is called Sticky Buns. It's like a bronzy gold. Really good pigmentation on that one. And then the last one in the first row is Lick the Spoon. This one has some almost rosy tones in it. So that is the first row. Moving on to the second row, we have the shade Muffin Top, and I really like this color for the crease. Next we have another kind of gold tone. This one's Love the Bun You're With. Interesting. Kind of similar color to the bronze earlier, but a little bit on the lighter side. Next is Sweet and Spicy, and this is a really pretty bronze. And then we have I'm Toasted. This one has some more reddish warm tones in it. Next is Stay Current, which is that shimmery purple. They do that a lot in their palettes. And then we have Cinnamon Swirl right there. I had to wipe my arm because I'm running out of room here. Last row, we have Sugar Rush. This one has a pinky gold undertone. I do see this kind of color in a lot of Too Faced eyeshadow palettes. Next is Gooey Goodness. This one has some more chunky kind of, it's not really glitter, but it's just like a chunky formula. Next we have Ready, Set, Bake, and this is one of the mattes in this pretty rose pink. Next up is Sticky Fingers. This one might be my favorite shade in the palette. I just feel like it's more unique. Next we have the shimmery purple that Too Faced always does. This is Food Court. And lastly is Batter Up, which is the dark matte brown. And that is the last row. So that is the swatches of the Cinnamon Swirl palette. I am going to do some comparisons at the end of the video, but I do want to go ahead and share 2 looks I did, including this one with the eyeshadow palette. Alright, so going into the Cinnamon Swirl palette, we are going to take this, let's do the Muffin Top shade, and we're going to put this in the crease. Next, I do want to make this a little more pinky tone, so I'm going to take Ready, Set, Bake, also putting that on top in the crease. I'm going to pack a little bit of this Stay Current shade in my outer corner, and since it is a shimmer, I'm just kind of dabbing this on and not really blending it, just kind of pressing it in. Definitely doesn't work so well that way. Let's try out Food Court on my finger, and I'm going to place this on the outer half of the eye. I'm going to take a little bit of the Stay Current shade again just on my finger, just to see if we can deepen it up just a little bit this way by tapping it with the finger instead. It kind of melts the shadow a little bit more than the brush does. But overall, I'm just not a huge fan of those kind of dark purple shimmers. I prefer it to be more of a matte formula. Next, on a damp brush, I'm going to go in with Sticky Fingers and place this in the inner portion. This shade I think is really pretty, and it's very metallic. On the lower lash line, I'm just going to go ahead and take this dark matte called Matter Up. I do have a little bit of fallout from that dark purple that we used. I'm not a huge fan of that shade, but I do want to build some depth under here. I'm just going to definitely have to clean up with some concealer. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of my makeup on with this look, and then I'm going to finish up. We'll use one of the shades for our inner corner, and I'll show you guys the final look for look number 1. Alright, so I got most of my makeup on. I do want to add a little bit of an inner corner highlighter. We will take this Gooey Goodness shade and just kind of pop this in the inner corner for an extra highlight. So that's pretty much it for this look number 1. I do want to quickly try out that liquid lipstick in the collection too with this, because I'm going to wear it for both looks today, called Cinnamon Bun. This is a new shade. I think this color is so pretty. I love the melted matte formula. They are a bit on the drier side of liquid lipsticks. Most liquid lipsticks are, but they seriously last all day on the lips. So I'm a huge fan of the formula. So let's pop this on. I think this is going to be a nice kind of darker nude. Okay, the lip product smells so good. Even better than the palette. This is gonna be like my go-to fall color. very neutral. I feel like it'll go with pretty much any look. So that is look number one. I actually like how this came out. I'm glad I finally tried one of the bright purples just to kind of blend together and see what we could come up with for something a little more colorful, but I think it came out really pretty. All right, just wiped my makeup off so we could do look number two. Obviously gonna go a little more neutral with this to try out those colors. So for this look, I'm gonna go ahead and start off with Muffin Top again. I just really like this crease color. And then I'm actually going to go in with Cinnamon Swirl very lightly because this is a darker shade, also in the crease. Yeah, it's very pigmented and I grabbed like hardly any product. This one doesn't seem to be blending out as nicely, I will mention. It's kind of just like sticking to one spot. Okay, it doesn't look great, but I think it'll work. Yeah, that shade was just not easy to work with, unfortunately. Let's try up. We're gonna try the Batter Up shade in the outer corner. This one isn't too shabby for a dark brown. Next, I'm going to go into See Me Rollin' on this little smudger brush, and we'll take that on the lower lash line. On a wet brush, I'm going to go into Sweet and Spicy. This is a really pretty kind of bronzy gold. And then I'm actually going to top that with Gooey Goodness and see what that will do layered. And that just adds a little bit more metallic finish. And then of course I will blend those edges. So here is look number two completed with lashes and just touched up a little bit of my makeup. So this is something I would wear for just like a soft glam look. Alright guys, so on to my final thoughts here on the Cinnamon Swirl eyeshadow palette. I mostly had a decent time using it. There was a couple of the mattes that I just feel like didn't blend so well. When I swatched them, they were more creamy, but I don't know, when I got them on the eye, I must have got too much pigment and they were just hard to blend out. So like quality wise, I would say it's okay. I do kind of feel like the pumpkin spice was a little bit better. The shimmers though do feel really smooth. A lot of them are very metallic. There's a couple of them that had almost that chunkiness to it, like that Gooey Goodness shade was a little bit chunky, but yeah, overall it's kind of just your basic neutral warm palette mixed in with some purples. So I do want to go ahead and we'll do some comparisons here. So right off the bat, it does remind me of the previous like gingerbread palettes, pumpkin spice palette. I have two of them still in my collection. I try not to like actually collect palettes just to collect. I only keep stuff in my collection that I really use and love, so I no longer have the original gingerbread. And I do feel like that one was somewhat similar. This new Cinnamon Swirl palette definitely has more matte. So these two are a little more different than I originally thought, but I do feel like there would be just a few similarities. Here's what it looks like next to Pumpkin Spice. Pumpkin Spice is on top, the bottom is the Cinnamon Swirl. They do have a couple similarities, but I do feel like the color scheme in Pumpkin Spice is definitely more unique in my opinion. I did swatch a couple shades that looked similar, so we definitely have some similar tones going on. It wasn't like an exact dupe, and Pumpkin Spice had a couple other shades that the Cinnamon palette didn't have. Like the purples are definitely different in here, as well as the greens and like the golds, but I did find a couple similar tones. The first one on top was Whipped Cream from Pumpkin Spice. The second one is Fall For It. The third color is Cocoa Drizzle. The fourth one is Spice Spice Baby. The fifth one is Oh My Gourd. And then the last one is a la mode. So some similarities there, but not identical. Now, What I think this is most similar to is actually the gingerbread extra spicy. I have extra spicy on the bottom, cinnamon swirl on top. These two are so similar, and you guys will see in the swatches too. I truly feel that if you have the extra spicy down here, you do not need this palette unless you are truly a collector. There is so many swatches that swatch almost identical, so I really feel like this is kind of a mixture of original gingerbread and the extra spicy together, because the only differences really is the cinnamon swirl has a little bit more lighter pinks in that purple that extra spicy does not have. Extra spicy has some kind of deeper mattes, but look at these swatches, you guys. Alright, so here is the swatches next to each other that I found similar shades. Some of them don't match up exactly, but you can see how similar these are. On the top row here is the cinnamon swirl. On the bottom row is extra spicy. They look pretty darn close to me. Yeah, I was so surprised how similar those were. I thought they would be a little more different. I thought the pumpkin one would be even more similar, but turns out it wasn't as similar as I thought. So for my final thoughts here on this palette, do you absolutely need this? Probably not. Is it fun to have? Yes. Is it adorable? Yes. It's definitely a collector piece for sure. Not everyone is going to want this, and most people that have the holiday palettes already are going to have this same color scheme. So for me, I'm a little bit disappointed in it just because I would like to see them branch out a little bit more and stop playing it safe with the same colors over and over again. I want some originality here. We could have done something so much fun because they really do really cute designs. I know they can come up with some better colors. I just know it. So that is my thoughts on this. I thought the quality, it was pretty up to par with the other tin packaged ones that I've tried before. That seems to be their best formula is in these guys. If you don't have any of those palettes though, this might be up your alley. If you're looking for just something fun and neutral to try out, this could be kind of a fun one to use. So that pretty much sums up my thoughts on the new Cinnamon Swirl palette. Let me know if you guys are going to be picking this up or skipping. What are your thoughts on this one? Are you guys a big Too Faced fan? Are you not really? Are we kind of over their stuff? I'm curious to see what they come out with for Christmas. Sometimes they do some fun sets, but usually these palettes are the best quality. The tin ones, the ones they do for Christmas are usually made in China with the cardboard packaging, and they're not usually as good, but they always do really fun themes. So I am still excited to see what they come up with. Let me know also if it is something you'd be interested in, if you want to see reviews of the holiday collections, if you're interested in picking them up. I know a lot of people don't really buy their holiday stuff here on YouTube, so just let me know what you want to see, because if I have enough interest, I definitely will go out and buy something, even if it isn't something I'm super interested in myself. It's always fun to try new things. Again, the link is down below if you guys want to pick this one up, but I will let you guys go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.